أعود السلام يا ذا الجلال والإكرام. Dear brothers, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We're going to go over a small ayah in Surah Al-Nahl. Allah Azza wa Jal says, ادعو إلى سبيل ربك بالحكمة والموعظة الحسنة وجادلهم بالتي هي أحسن إن الله أعلم بمن اهتدى إن الله أعلم بمن ضل والله أعلم بالمهتدين. That Allah Azza wa Jal mentioned in Surah Al-Nahl, and He talking to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and again it's talking to us. ادعو إلى سبيل ربك بالحكمة والموعظة الحسنة. That we always, when you talk to people, when you invite people, first of all, you need to understand the people that you talk to, how they thinking. It means, again, you cannot talk to everybody the same thing. You have to be a wise man. There are certain people have certain talk, because some people, they have even levels of understanding. It means when you need to do da'wah, you have to be understanding and knowing how to talk to people. Your knowledge sometimes, as we said, your knowledge sometimes is good to have it, but sometimes not by your knowledge that people can perceive what you try to say. It's how you say it, how you approach it, the tone of how your, what do you call it, your demeanor, your gestures, how you say it, to whom you say it, at what time you say it. Again, Allah Azza wa Jalla tried to teach us an etiquette to see how to do da'wah. Allah Azza wa Jalla said, ادعو إلى سبيل ربك. The first thing, بالحكمة. You have to be wise. To be wise, again, the same thing, to understand who you talk to. You need to understand the level of even the level of their education. Because sometimes you cannot talk to the people, try to do da'wah, and you are a highest level of education, and even you have the knowledge, but they're not there yet. You're just talking and talking. Allah just says, bil hikmah, you have to be a wise man. You have to understand. When you talk to a kid, it's not like you talk to an adult. When you talk to somebody who's educated, it's not talking to somebody who's not educated. There is an etiquette to talk to people. Then after that, your knowledge, Allah says, وَالْمَوْعِظَةِ الْحَسَنَةِ. After that, now it is the maw'idah. Now it is what you know. Now it is, you explain every single thing again of whatever that subject that you talk about. And you have to have the etiquette. And normally when you do da'wah, there is no argument. You're just doing da'wah. You are inviting people. Even Allah Azza wa Jal says that وَجَادِلْهُمْ بِالَّتِي هِيَ أَحْسَنُ. Most of the time, when you go even in jidal in Arabic, it's in English is argument. Even when you argue with people, always argue with وَجَادِلْهُمْ بِالَّتِي هِيَ أَحْسَنُ. In your argument, even you have to have husn, you have to have manners in it. Because when you do jidal, you're not there just to criticize people or to insult people. You try to make your point. If you, even though, sometimes, if two people, one has the right and one doesn't have the right, if both of them, they start talking in jidal, they're arguing, and each one, raise their voices and everybody start attacking and insulting, nobody knows which one is the knowledgeable one. They are now at the same level. Allah Azza wa Jalla said, وَجَادِلْهُمْ بِالَّتِي هِيَ أَحْسَنُ. Even, and he talked to Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, even jidal with who? Even with the kuffar. Even when you talk to a kafir sometimes. Sometimes we get like, when you try to get your point across, if you cannot, if the person at the other side, he didn't get your point, you start attacking. Or you start even insulting. That's not the way of Islam. If Islam, either Allah Azza wa Jalla says, وَجَادِلْهُمْ بِالَّتِي هِيَ أَحْسَنُ, or you don't have even to participate in that jidal, in that argument. If you know that that argument is going to hurt you or hurt the situation, don't start it. Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that in the hadith, if you want to say something, say خير أو لتسكت. It means whatever, when we open our mouth, we need to know that we need to accomplish something. If we open our mouth and we cannot accomplish nothing, don't even start it. It means sometimes if I want to go in an argument with somebody, if I know that that person is so aggressive, try to avoid it, because the minute the minute you know that he's an aggressive, he's gonna be aggressive with you. He's gonna attack you. He's gonna insult him. He's gonna insult you, and that diffuse the purpose of even talking. When Allah Azza wa Jal says, "Id'u ila sabili rabbika bil hikmah," the first thing what He's telling us, He's telling us that we have to do da'wah. We have to do da'wah. You are, as a Muslim, you are a da'i. You are somebody who do invitations to people. Sometimes with your knowledge, and sometimes with your manners, and sometimes with both of them. Sometimes if you don't have the knowledge, you could be a da'i by your morals, the way you are. Sometimes, you could be a da'i by the way, just sitting down. People, they're watching you, how you sit down, how is your demeanor. If you smile, if you said, if you meet people, you meet them with the open arms, you meet them with a smile, your demeanor, that's people, that action that you're taking, people pay attention to it. Sometimes I have many people that said, what, oh, there's such and such, it came and this and that. He talked to me and this and that. It came from this ear and got out that ear. Why? Because most of the time, when you try to talk to people, you try to level with them. And how you level with people? When you touch the heart. The ears got from here and leave out of here. But when you touch the heart, it stays in the heart. Sometimes you think that your words, it didn't make any difference, but really it did. It did. Maybe sometimes you don't see it, but it's the words, it's like a seed. You plant it. Sometimes it doesn't grow right there in your face, but it's growing under the soil. But your words, it's already growing, but you don't see it. And that's what we, dear brothers, when we talk to people in anything, in any subject, even in da'wah and Islam, in the Quran, in just normal talk, we try to have a manner and a charisma. How many people, they say this people will, sometimes if you talk to that person, he will sweep you off your feet. And how many times you said, even the same thing, they have the same knowledge, the same thing. And when you talk to a person, you say, oh my goodness, man, I cannot wait for him to just be quiet. The same thing. Why? It's the techniques and the etiquettes. Again, sometimes you have to understand that when you talk to people, you're not over here just to talk to win. You are talking to do that. We're talking to level up. We're talking to open up. We're talking to connect. We're talking to reach one another. We're talking to find a common ground that we talk about. Allah says, "Id'u ila sabili rabbika." Always do da'wah wherever you can at the level that you understand. Even sometimes a lot of people, they think that you have to be a scholar to do da'wah. You have to be knowledgeable. Sometimes you take one hadith and say it. But when you take that hadith, you understand, you have to live it. You cannot say to your friend, oh, تبسمك في وجه أخيك صدقة, and you frowning all the way, all the time. Your knowledge, it doesn't mean nothing. If you tell me تبسمك في وجه أخيك صدقة, and you always frown in my face, it means what is that knowledge? Most of the time, when your knowledge, you have to live it. People have to see your knowledge on you. You cannot tell me something, or you cannot tell me, oh, you have to be patient. You have this when you just rush in this and fighting with that. You cannot. Yeah. We cannot, because that's called, in Islam, it's called hypocrisy. That's what when we do something, again, when you do da'wah, Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned, "Bal ballu anni walau ayah." ولا حديث. If you know one ayah, just say one ayah, live it. ادعو الى سبيل ربك. This is an ayah. It tells you this is an ayah. If you know it, you talk it to people. There is one guy came to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam that he want to know something. The guy cannot even, he doesn't understand a lot. He said, Ya Rasulullah, give me something that I need something that I do. قال كلمتان خفيفتان على اللسان حبيبتان إلى الرحمن ثقيلتان في الميزان سبحان الله وبحمده سبحان الله العظيم. That guy, the only knowledge that he got is that hadith. And he went with this hadith. Every time he sees somebody, يا أخي, my brother, كلمتان خفيفتان على اللسان ثقيلتان في الميزان حبيبتان إلى الرحمن سبحان الله وبحمده سبحان الله العظيم. Say سبحان الله وبحمده سبحان الله العظيم. This guy become a da'i with that little hadith. Sometimes again, when you say, when Allah Azza wa Jalla said, ادعو إلى سبيل ربك بالحكمة والموعظة الحسنة, all of us, but not all of us are alim, not all of us are scholar, but all of us should have manners. اللهم اهدنا فيمن هديت وعافنا فيمن عافيت وتولنا فيمن توليت وبارك لنا فيما أعطيت وقنا واصرف عنا شر ما قدرته وقضيت فإنك تقضي بالحق ولا يقضى عليك وإنه لا يعز من عديت ولا يذل من وليت تباركت ربنا وتعاليت فلك الحمد يا ربنا على ما أنعمت به وأوليت. نستغفرك اللهم ونتوب إليك. اللهم أرنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وأرنا الباطل باطل وارزقنا اجتنابه. قربنا لما تحبه وترضاه وابعدنا عما يغضبك يا الله. اللهم اغفر للمؤمنين والمؤمنات والمسلمين والمسلمات الأحياء منهم والأموات إنك يا ربنا قريب مجيب الدعوات. اللهم انصر الإسلام والمسلمين أعلى كلمتي الحق والدين. اللهم إنا نسألك من خير ما سألك عبدك ونبيك وحبيبك ومصطفاك سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم ونستجير ونستعيد مما استجار واستعاذ به منك وبك عبدك ونبيك وحبيبك ومصطفاك سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. رب اجعلني مقيم الصلاة ومن ذريتي ربنا تقبل دعاء ورب اغفر لي ولوالدي ورب ارحمهما كما ربيان صغيرا. اللهم اتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما